Like, what gave you the indication all those years ago that Rodgers was dropping to the Packers, 24th overall? Like, what were you working on with that
I
back
had
then?
that, and I knew that if I went public with it, I'd be ridiculed. And at the end of the day, it's like my dad, the old high school coach, told me years ago before he passed away. He's like, if you're going to be wrong for your own convictions. Don't be wrong because of what other people think. And it was him and um, Smith.
Alex Smith, yeah.
Yeah, it was him and Smith, one or two, and I thought Alex was going to go one. And then as I went through and tried to match up players and teams, there's a lot of things that go into it, including, and I think there's an apt or a conversation here that's similar, including teams that have head coaches and or GMs on a hot seat. And part of the Aaron Rodgers thing for me was several teams in that draft had to win now, or their head coaches were getting fired. And I think whether you want to admit it or not, I think when you're in a building and you're trying to compete, and you can talk yourself into it pretty easily. Hey, we can be better this year. We can be a playoff team this year if we draft so and so. If we draft the rookie quarterback, he might not even get on the field this year. How much? So we're not going to be better at all. So that's one of the reasons there's kind of an argument for GMs and head coaches being staggered as far as what their contract term looks like, so the GM can have a bigger picture on the franchise. But Rich, that's a real thing, and that's part of kind of went into the. It was only a part of it, trying to find the right fits with the right team. But every time I got to a team where I thought he could fit, I thought there was a head coach on the hot seat that had to win now, and I pushed him down again.
Well, I mean, part of the reason why I bring it up, Mike, is twofold. One, it helped put NFL Network draft coverage on the map, where it legitimized us as a spot where we had knowledge and we had conviction and we had the ability to make you smarter. And then you made us all look really smart by nailing the fact that Aaron Rodgers not only wasn't going to be first overall, it was going to be Alex Smith to the 49ers, that he would drop all the way to 24 and be selected by the team that had the Iron Man of the sport sitting there. And that was big for us. But I'm also bringing it up now, Mike, because it kind of feels like, for the lack of a better analogy, Shedeur Sanders is in the spot of, well, it's going to be Cam Ward number one overall. And who knows where this kid winds up? Because it might be, as you point out with Rodgers, team dependent, scheme dependent, general manager dependent. Who's willing to work with somebody who might not be starting right now or winning right now. So I'm wondering where you stand on Shedeur Sanders now that he is done with his workouts and we're 17 days away from finding out an answer to this question. Mike.
As we stare this draft in the face, and you and I can kind of go through the top 8 or 9 teams if you want and kind of talk about where their heads are, but I look at Shedeur, and the pro day really changed nothing for me and for most people around the league, I don't think. He throws a beautiful deep ball. He can drop it in the bucket. I thought that was the highlight for him. I think there were no major red flags, nor was there any major advancement. Oh, we never saw that, and he's the savior. So I don't think the pro day really changed anything other than confirm a lot of stuff about him. Here's my concern, Rich. I think sometimes we let draft position trump the correct fit. And the irony of, say, Aaron Rodgers is he ended up in the right place, even with all the Brett Favre stuff. He had to sit for a while. He learned his craft. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, Andy Reid traded up to 10 to get Patrick Mahomes, and he ended up in the right place. The Baltimore Ravens traded up to 32 to get Lamar Jackson. Think of that. Lamar Jackson at 32. They already had drafted a tight end at 26 or whatever. So I think Shedeur might slide a bit here, Rich. I don't think he's going in the first 9. And I have a concern beyond that, how far it'll go. And you start talking about fit and I think Pittsburgh's a really intriguing fit for him. Um, I like Mike Tomlin. I like Arthur Smith. They need a young quarterback. Even with Aaron Rodgers, it'd be an awesome fit for the kid to come in and learn. And just about every quarterback in college football coming into the NFL is not ready for prime time. They're just not ready. There's so many things they have to learn, and trying to force feed them in day one is difficult. So we can get into all the minutiae we want, but I'm concerned. I just want a right fit for the kid. I like the kid. I like his dad. I want him to end up in the right place, regardless of what the number is in what round.
Okay, so a couple follow-ups. 21 is a long way to drop. That is for sure, which is where the Steelers are. Do you think Shedeur is quarterback number 2 drafted overall? Do you think he's going to be the second quarterback drafted, or does somebody go in front of him at the position to keep dropping?
I think he's probably the second quarterback drafted.
Okay.
I think Jackson Dart is the third.
Okay. And in terms of the fit, then, where do you give me some teams where you think it is the right fit for Shedeur Sanders to land?
Look, if the Saints took him at 9 with Kellen Moore, that'd be kind of cool. And knowing Derek Carr personally, and kind of person he is, kind of quarterback he is, I think for Shedeur to be at work with him, it would be really cool. But you look at that franchise. Mickey Loomis has been there a while. Mickey's a smart guy. Derek Carr is probably not going anywhere this year, and next year he enters the guaranteed phase of his contract. They want to win now, and they also have Spencer Rattler, who's a pretty good football player. So they're going to look for Kellen Moore to tell them what they think about those two incumbent quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But Mickey Loomis brought them both into the building, and Mickey's been there forever. So that I kind of feel like they're going to ride through this year and not take a quarterback. Although if they took him, I think it'd be a good fit for him. I think 21 and the Steelers are a good fit for him. I think anywhere where he's got a chance to learn, like the Rams, I think would be a great fit for him. The Rams, they're at 26. They don't have a second round pick. And I'm talking about kind of trading up and having capital. But I like those 3 areas. I like New Orleans for him. I like Pittsburgh for him. I like the Rams for him, learning behind Stafford and having one of the top play callers in the league calling the plays.
Mike Mayock here on the Rich Eisen Show. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.